If you are here, please read chat. Again, if you are here, please read chat. The stream will be getting underway once we get more people. Alright, here we go. Monster Jam Productions here. It's time to get underway with episode 3 of the weekly podcast series. Now, I'm going all in on this, so I don't really have anything I'm following. I'm just kind of going all out with this. So, we have a lot to talk about today. So I'm gonna just go all in with this here. And get into the weekend recap. So, this is not just going to be a screen like it normally is. So if you usually just listen in, you're gonna have to be a little bit more involving this time. Because as you guys know, last weekend was none other than Monster Jam here in my hometown, Glendale. We'll get to that in just a minute, but first I'm going to recap Melbourne because I have some other stuff to show attached with my show. So, in Melbourne, we had seen Kayla Blood with Whiplash, Armando Castro with El Toro Loco, Tristan England with Megalodon, Cynthia Gauthier with Monster Mutt Dalmatian, Camden Murphy with Bakugan Dragonoid, Bari Musauer with Zombie, Colt Stevens with Max D making his return, and Brandon Vincent with Gravedigger. So, this is actually a pretty loaded lineup for an international tour, I would have to say. So let's take a look at your results. Now, this is an interesting one because it is actually 2 stadium events in the same day. So it's both on October 1st. I thought it was 1st and 2nd, but they're both on October 1st. So it was Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. So Saturday afternoon, the racing finals, we would see Camden Murphy beat Armando Castro. As we move into skills, we would see Camden Murphy win again, in second with Kayla Blood, and in third, Tristan England. And then in freestyle, we would see Kayla Blood win, and then followed by Cynthia Gauthier, then followed by Camden Murphy. And Camden Murphy has some decent consistency, placing podium every time, winning twice, and it would be enough for him to get the overall with a total of 22 points. Then we move into Saturday night in Melbourne, and we would once again see Camden Murphy beat Armando Castro with El Toro Loco. Skills would come around, but this time Armando Castro would win, and Camden Murphy would place way below in 4th, so that's a lot of points down. That being said, Bari Musauer got a huge skill score with an 8.453. And then we have freestyle, and this was a crazy freestyle. I haven't seen it yet, but the scores here are Brandon Vincent winning with a 9.838, and Camden Murphy in second. That is the run I did see, with a 9.792. So it's a loaded night, and I don't know how, but Camden Murphy won, despite being tied for 20 with Armando Castro. So, I don't know if, like, they did rock, paper, scissors or something, because really that could have been either of them, but it's officially made that Camden Murphy won. I guess it's because he had a higher placing average, I would assume, because he did place podium twice, while Armando Castro also placed. I don't know, but yeah, Camden Murphy walks home with both overall event wins for Australia. Now it's time to get to the exciting part of weekend recap, Monster Jam here in State Farm Stadium. It was a blast. And now, to get you guys caught up on what happened, I am going to be showing you guys videos of the event. Now, Monster Jam has it wrong, I think. No, they fixed it, okay. This was the best event, as if you guys saw the title, that I have seen in years. I want to see monster trucks go down. I don't believe they've ever come here, and I want them to, but all the indie tours and arena shows, always in Tucson, and that's like 3 hours away, and it's not worth it for one event. So maybe sometime we'll go down to like a Monster Jam arena weekend, get a hotel and watch some shows. That would be a cool idea, but that's not worked out anything yet. So Monster Jam was in Glendale this last weekend, so I'm going to be showing you guys some of the best moments. So I'm going to start by showing you guys the racing finals. So let me get this all pulled up here.
Something different.
Oh wait. Alright, let me get the ads out of the way first, so I don't get copyrighted, and then I'll get to showing you guys these this crazy event. So racing was pretty uneventful. There was a really close race that I'm not going to show you guys because it was just in like the first round, I think. But it was pretty cool. I mean, I think it was Markless beat David Olfert by 0.007. So yeah, let me show you guys now what we are working with. Yep, now you see my whole setup here. So this is your racing finals. It would be Travis Mallory on Adam Anderson, so a pretty unique racing finals, I would have to say. Why is this low res? I don't... Fix it, please. It was a pretty exciting night, and I'll get to why when we come around to freestyle, because skills was also relatively disappointing. It wasn't too much to see, but freestyle came around and it was loaded. Plus, I had another crazy thing happen. So there we go. Racing winner here in Glendale. This past weekend would be Adam Anderson with Gravedigger. Now it is time for me to get into skills and show you guys what we had seen for the skills challenge. Your winner would be your hometown driver, Taza Duke, with the Blue Thunder, throwing it into some awesome bicycles. So let me get this pulled up here. And here we go. Yeah, Colvinard got pretty up there as well. We'll get back to Colvinard soon, I promise that much. Taza Duke, it was, yeah, like I said, it wasn't the most exciting skills. Personally, I think Weston Anderson was heavily underscored. There we go. See, he tried to get that moonwalk, but he couldn't quite get it. And then over here, just another bicycle. So it wasn't a super crazy skills night, because that did end up getting the win. Let me see if Weston is here. He's not. Skills part 1 then, because skills part 1 was pretty good still. There was a screaming drunk lady in every single video, and it's kind of, so he stole the maximum moonwalk and then did that. But I want to get to Weston since it was his first like big stadium stop. Lindsey Reed almost got this really cool save. I'm not sure if they shut her off or if she just didn't gas it, but right there, perfect opportunity, and she didn't go for it. So let me find Weston. I thought he was second, but I guess he would have had to have been third. He had a great night. I'm sure Ryan's not going to be very happy when he hears what Weston did. Again, we'll get to that shortly. But yeah, Weston had a great night. And honestly, I think next year, they're not going to because he's still a heavy rookie. I wish next year, like, they would make another Son of a Digger chassis, and Weston would run that, maybe with Adam's tour or Tom's, like that tour, not the one that Ryan's not on, and Weston would drive his own Son of a Digger. That would be cool, because Son of a Digger was for Adam and Ryan, so maybe Weston could end up driving it as well instead, because they didn't ever pull through with that, so I think it would be cool, but personally, I don't see it happening. stadiums for Weston are probably just going to be a postseason thing until Adam or Ryan retire, which is, it's an unfortunate thing to say, but it is true. And similar does go for Brandon Vinson. You know, he's been shooting for the stadiums, he's said that, and he's still not close enough, so we'll have to see how that works out. Now it's time for the freestyle recap, because this is what it really all came down to. So, first of all, it was a big Team Throttle takeover. This was their last stadium show of the year, and they went all out for it. So I'm going to show you guys kind of the best of the best for what we saw from Team Throttle Monster. Then we'll move into the other runs, because I think Team Throttle Monster will just do first, and then we'll move into the other runs. Travis Mallory had a pretty decent run, but it was really this last hit that I think put it all together. That crazy hit, and not enough momentum to carry back to save it. So that's what we would see for Travis Mallory and Extreme Attitude. It was a good attempt to save it, but just could not quite get it. So a great attempt for Travis Mallory there, but an unfortunate slip up. Then we will move into Mike Christensen with Vendetta. Dang it with the ads. Why? It's always ads. Ads get me copyrighted. I don't know when this ad will end. Alright, ad is ended. Mike Christensen had a couple pretty good moves, but he had an unfortunate breakage, I think, with the transmission. There we go. That's really the highlight of his run. That was a pretty big send. Apart from that, it did just end too early for him to get too much in right there, because it's already ended. So a great go for Mike Christensen, but not quite what he was looking for. We'll get back to Markless at the end, since it was the winning run and it was incredible. Lindsey Reed did not get too much either, but there was a pretty cool sky wheelie that I think should be noted. That was a pretty big sky wheelie. Apart from that, though, a locked up planetary would be the end for Lindsey Reed. People kept walking in front of us. I kept having to stand up and try to basically record, and it got very shaky at all those parts. It was really annoying. It happened in the last freestyle, which was Adam Anderson's. Alright. Now we move into Jamie Garner. Again, he had an unfortunately early rear steer breakage that held him back for the rest of the run. But here was the kind of highlight jump that my camera went out of focus for. So perfectly timed camera. Yeah, see, he just kind of drove around, broken rear steer. Another unfortunate break, so this making it sound like it wasn't a good freestyle, but trust me, it was. Then we move into Bryce Kenny with the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. The last jump is what we're here to talk about. He also had some pretty good moments like that. Skip forward a little bit. He had a couple launches off the pod, but that is the highlight of the run right there. Huge air, hits the pod, and saves it. That is really the highlight for Bryce Kenny. A great move there. From there, we move into Weston Anderson, and when I said that Ryan was going to be upset about this is what I was talking about. He has just great stadium. He has great stadium driving, but he doesn't have throttle control whatsoever. And what happens there is you don't know when to stop driving. And let's just take a look at this. See, he's getting big air, like bigger than a lot of the other drivers. And at one point, the air gets a little bit too big. He hits the berm. There goes a 4-link. Out goes the drive shaft. There goes the other 4-link. And there come the flames. He broke, I think, everything on the rear end that you could think of. He's lucky that he did not blow out the engine, because he would probably owe Ryan a new truck entirely. So yeah, Weston Anderson got a little bit off the hook. It's unfortunate because, I mean, you saw that he definitely has what it takes to be in the stadium, but they're not going to put him on the stadium. That's what the problem is. I mean, I want to see him in the stadium. He would do a great stadium tour, especially next year was a perfect opening. I mean, next year has a bunch of open spots, and he would be a great addition to this tour, driving Son of a Digger, but they're not going to do it. I'm actually now saying that, since these tours have spots open, what the Marvel trucks will be. We are still waiting for November. November's going to be a big month. So that was Weston Anderson. I will come back to David Olfert. Then we have Paul Jensen, but first we have an ad, because what else to expect? So Paul Jensen had a pretty, I wouldn't say it was too crazy. I mean, it was pretty crazy, actually. Yeah, maybe I was a little bit wrong. It was an insane run, but he did crash early, which was quite a big thing to hold him back. Team Throttle Monster, though, as I said, went crazy. And this air, look at that. I mean, Paul Jensen was insane at this show. But there is one member of Team Throttle Monster that we'll get to a little bit later. I think it's right there. Yeah, you can see one of the planetaries gets locked up. And yeah, rear right there. It creates some issues for him. So on this last jump, gets sideways, goes over, goes for a save. On the perfect position for a save, but cannot get it. So that was Paul Jensen. A great air. And that pretty good save I had showed you guys. Now we have 5 more runs to review, and these are like the ultimate 5 of the night. So I'm going to actually start here with Adam Anderson, because he had a pretty good run. And what's one thing about this run is, like, he goes right here, truck stops, and now something's fallen out of the truck. So we don't know what that is. We never find out what that is. His crew chief comes down. His crew chief continues to fall. I want to actually try running on those. Like, what do you think it's like? Is it that slippery? Is it tacky? I don't know. But yeah, he's shut off. They get him back up and running. Surprisingly, they shut everything off. This show was very unique for the officials, which again we'll get to in a second. So Adam Anderson's air was off the hook. Like right there he gets a bicycle, but people were walking in front of me. So I got it as best as I could. I think the main reason Adam Anderson didn't win is because he didn't do a backflip. I mean, look at that. It's insane, but he didn't do a backflip, and that's like what all the fans want to see. And it bombed his score. He got like a 7.7, I'm pretty sure, but the air was still really good. Like, look at this. Huge. And then this crazy crash to end it, but without the backflip, which he was perfectly lined up to do, he did not get the score he was looking for. Let's see what score he ended up getting. Oh, okay, an 8.6. That's a little bit more reasonable. But yeah, he got a little bit away from the win because he didn't do a backflip, which I think it's upsetting, but even then, I still don't think it was enough for the win anyway, because we'll get to it. I'll go to Taza Duke next. Obviously, always expecting good for the hometown driver, but it was pretty good. Probably had the biggest jump of the night, I would have to say. But we already had seen a lot of big air coming into this run. And apart from the big air, there wasn't really anything too spectacular. So Taza Duke wouldn't even win the overall, unfortunately. Is this crew chief? Why is he standing on the ladder? I don't know. We'll get to that. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that air. That is by far the biggest air that had happened, and that cool little save. But unfortunately, other than that air, there wasn't another too crazy moment that we had seen. So, a great run, but not a good enough wow moment. So now there's 3 more runs to get to, and we're gonna start with David Olberg because he had a great night, and I'm actually very, very happy that we're seeing him on a stadium. I mean, that's his first jump. I don't think any other driver went all out on the first jump this night. Like, any of them. I think they all started, like, with the jump he just did. And that was huge air on the pod. I've never actually seen a driver hit the pod like that on this track style. At least not that ended up like that. Huge air. So I'm actually very happy that David Olberg's going to stadium tours. I had already wanted him to be a while back. And now that he's actually getting on stadium tours, I think there's a lot of exciting stuff to be expected next year. Because this air was great. I know it's the end of the year for him, but it's still a good setup. And then look at this right here. Goes for his first container backflip. Doesn't even think about it. Doesn't line up for it. I mean, the time was ticking at this point. Just turns and goes for it. And this is the first container backflip. Almost goes over, puts it in reverse as if, I mean, he is really good at moonwalks. I'm not surprised that the shifting came all that fast. I'm just surprised he even thought to go in reverse in time. So he just flies into reverse. Excellent move. He had a shot at the full send, but he didn't do it. Probably would have got a lot higher score if he did. And then ends it off with some decent donuts. We never actually saw any very good donuts that night. But that would be it for David Olberg. A great, great run for the Velociraptor. And now we move into 2 more runs. We'll do Markless Blast since he won, and we'll do Colvinard next. Because there's a lot, yeah, he had a very odd freestyle. He was like he never lined up straight. He was super sideways on every jump. Like, look at this right here. I thought he was gonna break a tire off or something. Like, I'm surprised the truck survived that perfectly fine. Look at what's happening. Why was the truck so, like, sideways again? The truck was never, like, perfectly on all fours. And the sway bars look fine. But this is what Colvinard's run all came down to. Right here. Goes over, saves it. I've waited years to see that. I've never seen that in a show. And I've always wanted to see some kind of save on an over-rotated backflip. That basically rolls over twice. I've wanted to see a truck do a 2 rollover save, or a consecutive backflip, and this kind of was exactly what I've been looking for. An excellent save for Colvinard and a great run. And now it's time to talk your winning run, which was Markless and El Toro logo. Nope, an ad. What else to expect? These aren't even copyrighted, are they? I don't think they are. I don't know why I'm getting ads. I'm definitely not monetized yet. I would love to be. That's why I'm uploading so many shorts, to at least get to the subscriber count. And then I'll have to do some work on watch hours. I was hoping I'd get a little bit more from this, but I haven't from this, like, podcast series. Look at that air. Insane air for Markless all throughout the run. That was pretty cool as well. Had a bit of cross-threading, which I guess that's what this... Both of the stadium tracks this year were all about cross-threading. Excellent wheelie to moonwalk. Goes for the backflip right out of the box with like 50 seconds left. Nails it. And then look right here. Full sends it. Lands on the back of the truck. And the tire rod is broken. This is where you would normally expect your driver to keep going until shut off by an official. But Markless Run did not end there. His tire rod was broken, and it was obvious. Look at that, and you could see it hanging off. That is clearly broken. But they never shut him off for it. So he just kept going. Stuff is still blowing up in the truck. I think he just lost second gear. He didn't launch it here like I thought he would. Just went for a little wheelie, but it did show just how broken the tire rod was on that one tire wheelie. What did that official just do? I think he was saying, like, that's done, probably. I don't know. But, yeah, it was an excellent run for Markless. Blew up the truck, blew up everything, and walked home with the win, despite being only the 3rd truck out. So it was great. But the excitement did not stop there. When freestyle ends, the Monster Jam excitement is not over yet. So I just did what I did last year. But look at this. So, first of all, we need high res for it to make any sense. Why does this only go up to 360p? What the heck? Well, it's a little bit rough to see. So, for comparison, you're going to need to know basically what happened last year. So, let me actually show you guys a little bit of what happened last year, because that's going to be super important in getting this. Alright. So here we go. This is last year. So, last year, and his post-show walk, you could tell that he's really, like, see, he's, like, really considering what's gonna happen here. Touches his hat. Tries to yell, but I obviously can't hear. Does that. Makes a whole big scene about it, right? Now they're both doing it. Makes a huge scene about it. And if you didn't read the title, then it would probably make no sense. But yeah, that was last October. And now, that was Tour Red. Now Tour Red comes back this October. Not Stadium Tour Red, but like a Red show. And look at how smooth I mean, you're kidding me. So, obviously, I got him to sign the hat from last year. So, obviously, I already know what's going up. So, look, waving. Boom. No big deal. Literally just going. Come here. So, this time, I made a fool of myself. Could have much easily gone for this. Look at this. I try to shake it. I try to grab it. I don't know why I just take off my hat and go for it. Try to grab it there, try to grab it there. And then I finally grab it. So, yeah, 2 years in a row. It was great. So, that's what the year last weekend recap looks like. A lot longer than usual. Now it's time to get into your next segment, your BeamNG schedule, as we usually get to. So, your BeamNG schedule here is going to be, this month, I'm going to try to get a Halloween special done. I'm looking at different options I could try to go for. A couple of them are just not working, though. So I'll try to get to something. Trying to get stuff worked out. So, this month I want to do a Halloween special, maybe a Boneyard Bash event. Basically have like a cool, Halloween theme event. So far all the tracks I've found are either not really working for the recording style I want to use, or too laggy for some of the bodies like Zombie. So right now I'm trying to get that worked out. November, I'm going to maybe do a 2022 Path of Destruction tour. It's a lot less likely. And then I also want to do an all-star challenge for Veterans Day. So it'll basically be like veteran drivers versus rising star drivers, something like that. So that will be in November. December, if I had started the Path of Destruction tour, which again, I don't really think I will, if I had started doing that, then I would continue that in December, but I don't really like doing tours that much anymore. So when December comes around, I know for a fact I will be doing a holiday special event, which is pretty exciting. It's going to be a truck killer. Always love what comes out of truck killer tracks. And then January, we are looking at a New Year's event. So obviously January, it's got to be New Year's January 1st or maybe December 31st. Maybe it will, I probably actually do it at Mountain Standard Time, midnight of January 1st. That will probably be, it's probably going to be a live premiere and actually come out at, you know, like when New Year's starts. And then as well as that, in February, I actually never brought this up in my previous BeamNG Schedule talks, it will be my 5-year anniversary on YouTube. Now this channel, I started in November of 2020, so not as much, but on my gaming channel, which I used to call my main channel before I actually passed it with subscribers, I started making videos, I want to say February 17th? Yes, February 17th, 2018. So next February will be my 5-year anniversary on YouTube, and I'm going to have to figure out an event for that. Not sure if I will have an event. I know that this series will definitely have an episode for that. Actually, let me check when that will, what day of the week that will be. February 17th, 2023. Day. It's on a Friday. So the Tuesday or Wednesday of that week, I could still put out a series at 5 years. It's going to be right around the corner. When the day comes, I'm going to put out a video here, all my channels. I'm going to be putting out a special. So yeah, it's a lot that's going to be happening for BeamNG, but it is also kind of over the span of 5 months. So really, is it a lot? I don't know. But yeah, some pretty big plans for BeamNG. Now it's time to move into general plans. Oops, wrong. Yep, no. Yep. It's time to get into my upcoming plans. And honestly, I don't really think I have that many. With Monster Jam being done, I don't really have a lot of plans. I would love to get back to sign-up series, but the thing with that is I'm still waiting on this sign-up tour to get one more sign-up. I need one more singular sign-up. So I'll leave it open on the table now if anyone wants to take it. In fact, I'll put it in chat so that someone actually can take the last one, because I'm pretty sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep, 15. I need one more sign up. So there's the link. I need one more sign up. One more sign up, and I'll be able to get back to diecast stuff. But I won't be until that tour is full. It's not even the 500 Fest anymore. So at this point, it's just going to be a sign-up point season. Yeah, it's just a whole lot of chaos. Actually, let me... Oh yeah, I could actually switch this back around. Boom. That's open, so feel free to go sign up. So far taken is Max D. Let's see. Taken is Max D, Big Kahuna, Here, I'll actually do this. Actually, I'll just say, no, this is actually gonna be easier. Kahuna, El Toro Loco, let's see, I'm trying to get these all done. Who just said shark? I'm assuming that's in saying of Megalodon. Trying to find out who's open still. Wait, was Big Kahuna even in here? It was. That's odd. I don't know why I put Big Kahuna in here, but I did. So anyways, yeah. I want to get that diecast tour done so I can get back to sign-up series. I would love to get back to sign-up series. So once that's done, I think it's going to be like 3 to 5 events. One of them's going to be a BeamNG. I'll finally be able to get back to diecast events after, let's see, when was my last diecast event? What's the date here? The date of my last event was July 18th. That's 3 months ago, nearly. So, please do that, so I can get this done. Forgot about the 500 Fest. It really zoomed by. I barely even got to make any videos before I was at 600. Alright, anyways, after that tour is concluded, I don't really know. Let me see. October 29th, I think, is the day I'm gonna be going. The All-Star Monster Truck Tour is closing the state fair, and I will be there for all 3 shows. In November, that's right, I have to react to the Drivers Summit. I will be doing more Monster Jam Jackinator Award videos, but probably not extremely soon. But apart from that, I really don't have plans right now. Everything else still has to be made. I wanted to try to grow this channel to where I can go to a couple out-of-state events. I've never been there before, though. Never gone to Monster Jam outside of here. So that's a long way out. That's really why I've been pushing so much with longer videos and shorts, just so I can get the watch hours in, and to get the subscribers in, so I could try to go to bigger, better things. And I've also been trying to do stuff that generally runs better on YouTube, like crashes and saves videos in BeamNG. So yeah, I have a lot I'm trying to finish right now for upcoming plans that I am trying to work on. Now it's time for the final segment, the discussion. So this is basically where I just talk about random Monster Jam stuff, like officials and how underrated I think 2016 was. So this is one of my favorite segments because I just basically talk about whatever I want to, and then I'm done. So this has been surprisingly short stream for having a whole weekend recap for 2 events especially. But then again, I did skip driver review again. I'm not really sure when I'll get back to driver focus, honestly, because it's not all that exciting of a segment. It's really just a lot of me talking about something random. So here, 2016, I want to talk about how it's really overlooked. I mean, I don't know, I just don't think it's talked about a lot. Like, 2016 World Finals, no one ever mentions it, except for, so 2016, the moonwalk would be invented, the backflip would be worked on, the corkscrew would be done for the first time, saves were off the hook, Ryan Anderson was off the hook. 2016, everyone talks about, like, 2011, 2012, 2013. No one really mentions 2016. And then everyone mentions 2017 because, ooh, front flip. And, like, 2015 because, wow, that judging was really bad. But no one really talks about 2016. It's kind of just ignored most of the time. And I don't really think that it's that bad. I think it's pretty good. I think it was probably one of the best years Monster Jam has seen. And similar can be said for 2019. Like, 2019 is when everyone's like, wow, you know, officials were really bad. All Monster Jam was bad. But we had the All-Star Challenge and the World Finals. Monster Jam has never had, like, two big events like that in a long time since they've done Path to Destruction tour kind of things. 2019 had a really good World Finals. The fan judging was bad, but there were lots of the most insane saves I have seen from a Monster Jam event. And then the All-Star Challenge had crazy air, you know, rising stars all over the board. It was cool how everyone in the All-Star Challenge was fan-chosen, and Cody Saucier managed to win so much, yet they still won't put him back in stadiums. It's kind of crazy to me. So that's a talk about the kind of underrated years, and 2022 is an underrated year, I would have to say. Everyone's like, man, Monster Jam is still really bad, and, like, they don't allow this or that, and, like, I don't really think it's as true for this year as it was before, because this year I've seen some of the craziest stuff come out that usually wouldn't have been allowed before. Like, just looking at my past show, I mean, we saw some crazy saves before the trucks were shut off, and we saw Markless drive on a broken tie rod, and, I mean, we've seen flat tires allowed this year, which hasn't really been regularly allowed since around 2017, obviously up until this year when they started letting all the drivers run on flat tires at certain venues. But we look at Markless with a broken tire rod in my last event, and we have to talk about, like, when's the last time that they allowed a broken tire rod or, like, missing tire to run, or, like, a broken tire rod, missing tire. They haven't really allowed that kind of stuff since around 2014. So Monster Jam this year, I think, has really been, like, redeeming itself in a lot of places like that, and there's been a lot of improvement with officials. Fan judging could still be improved on, and it's not going to be, as I talked about before. I don't think it was on this series, but I had talked about it before. Monster Jam officials refuse to change anything about the scoring system. They think it's perfect. They think everyone likes it. It's obviously not true, but they don't want to change it. They don't want to put in the work to change it. So it's unfortunate to see kind of where Monster Jam's heading as a profession and competitively, but looking at kind of the freestyle, I guess, leniency, it's getting a lot better like it was a while back. I haven't seen a broken tire allowed since, like, 2014, but if they're starting to allow broken tire rods back, I am a little bit more hopeful about them allowing more stuff like that back. So we'll have to see kind of what we're looking at. Nothing can really be said for sure yet, but I'm thinking that after this year and going into next year, this might be Monster Jam's, like, coming back, because this year has been insane. the saves this year, the World Finals this year, and a lot of the drivers this year who kind of came out of nowhere, especially Team Throttle Monster, Paul Jensen and Mike Christensen drove for a while. They flew into Monster Jam big, and now Team Throttle Monster is kind of taken over Monster Jam. They've kind of taken over Team Scream at sometimes, and Team Scream is expanding its presence in Monster Jam. Last season having 4 trucks on tour, rather than before just really having about 2, maybe 3, with like Brad Allen, Corey Rummel, and Jim Kohler. So we're seeing big expansion made for independents as well. And I think coming into next year might be the best year we've seen in over 8 years. And I'm not sure that I could say that, but looking at how this year worked, it's debatable if we shouldn't say that this year was one of the greatest years Monster Jam has ever seen, because it kind of is. Especially, you look at the new over-under track, you look at even the World Finals skills competition was awesome. There's a lot that happened this year that's a little bit overlooked. Actually, a lot of people say that 2022 is really bad. Monster Jam doesn't know what they're doing. This has been a great year for Monster Jam, apart from the whole scoring. So I think coming into next year, I think we'll definitely see probably the #1 best year that Monster Jam has seen. Not #1, actually. Probably maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th, top 5 years. I think next year will probably be one of the top 5 years Monster Jam will be seeing. And I know it's a stretch, but really looking at this year, is it really that much of a stretch? I don't think it is. So, before we wrap up, I'm going to now open the questions thing. So, let me put that there. So I'm going to let those come in, and otherwise this will be wrapping up. Alright, I think I'm going to end this there. And yeah. Part 4 will probably be next Tuesday, but it might be pushed back to Wednesday. I will have to see. But until then, I'll see you next time.